Hello and welcome everybody to a new episode on the Nishtown server. Today, as promised, I am going to talk to you about my sorting system. A few details before we start. As you know, we have had a slow start. We desperately needed um, not only a sorting system but also like a storage area, and so I opted to go a step beyond what I did on the Nishtown server. And what you see before you is a 3 sides sorting system with a total of 16 plus 16 32 plus 18, which what's that, 32 plus 18 something about 50 slots, if I'm not mistaken, right? I'm sure I'm mistaken. So before we start doing this, I want to thank some people and also do some apologies. I want to thank Umbra. Without his help, me and Funshine would have never gotten on this server. My English is always perfect, you know that. So thank you, Umbra. I want to thank as well Nishtown. He has provided for us this awesome server and also this awesome company. As you know, there are some big names on this server. And finally, I want to thank one of the guys that we play on this server with. His name is Quigley. Let me see if he's on. Yeah, Quigley31. He has been the most helpful guy on this server even from day one. He's a constant presence and he helps with each and every question we have. For example, every time something new happens, he knows about it. So yeah, that being said, I want to also apologize to Umbra and Nishtown because of the way I asked them a lot of questions. Is the way I am. Basically, I tend to be very how do you say in English, annoying, let's say annoying, because I ask a lot of questions. What does this do? Why don't you do it like that? How about that? Can that be done that way? And so on and so forth. So guys, if you're watching this, I apologize in advance. It's the way I am. I don't mean to offend. I only mean it like in a good way. So yeah. Good. Back to the sorting system. So let's watch it a little bit from behind. Every single chest on each side has a designated color. Okay, in total 16 colors, starting with white, going to orange. Let's go out of F1. Oh, and people started talking, darn it. So as you can see, white, orange, and so on and so forth, dark gray, light gray, and back to black in there. Okay, the same thing on the other side. Let's go a little bit faster. Okay, so starting with white down there, all the way to dark gray, light gray, and then black. And these are the sorting machines that do all the work basically. So whatever materials come from outside the system goes through this pipe, which encircles the entire system, as you can see. So it goes all the way to the back and all the way down there. Okay, So this pipe passes in front of sorting machines, and the system is built in such a way that I can actually put in here on each side 8 sorting machines. For now I only have 2 on each side because that's the starter, and eventually if we need more we can add up to 8, as I've said, on each side. Okay, so that's the basic. I have a pipe, an input pipe, sorting machines, and chests with colors for each and every one. Okay, let's talk about this over here, the right corner. This is what I like to call the fast processing corner. As you can see, I have here some signs. Starting from the bottom right, we have smelting, then macerating, extracting, and compressing. Each chest is designated to a single process. Pardon me. And if we go behind that corner, we will see something that looks a little bit complicated. It's not really that complicated, but maybe I should go in single player to do this. Do I have on me any kind of rock? No, I don't. Let's steal one from here, and let's try getting up here, shall we? On this corner so we can see better. Whoa. Okay. Let's start with these two guys. These two guys are filters. Okay, on the other side we also see again 2 filters. Basically I have 1 filter for each chest. So as we saw at earlier, we have 4 chests. That means 4 filters. Okay, these filters have a designated color. So each filter, okay, outputs materials on a different color. Okay, blue and white here. White is for macerating. I always like to put macerating on white. I don't know why. Basically because it's the first color and the first process in industrial craft you do. Okay, so the output from the filters, the materials go intersect in here, as you can see. So they go into this pipe and through an item detector. This is incredibly important because this item detector allows me to not use a timer. If you will, it's something like an inventory detector, the entire setup. So we activate the filters with a single button that is over there. I don't know if you saw that. Maybe you should pause the video and go a little bit back. So we activate all the 4 filters with a single press of a button. All the filters pull a single stack from the chest. So let's say I put 3 stacks in one chest. When I press the button, it only pulls out 1 stack. That stack makes its way down into the item detector. The item detector detects that stack because it is set on this mode that only detects stacks, so it doesn't count items, and pulses once for that stack. That pulse is very important because that pulse is sent back to the filters. Okay, it basically pushes the button for me again. So the filters are activated, they pull another stack from the system. Okay, that stack goes again through the item detector, and that activates again, and the cycle repeats itself. And basically the cycle ends when you pull the last stack. It goes again through the item detector, and that pulses a final time. And since there are no more stacks in the system, that pulse just is basically a check. Okay, so what happens with the items that go through the item detector? This is very important. The item detector keeps keeps the color of the stack. Okay, so as I've said, the macerator turns items white, which means after that those items go through the item detector, they keep their white color. And here we have the fast processing lane, let's say like that. I used to do this, actually I used to do I did this on the Nacero server with only 4 machines, one of each, so a furnace, a macerator, an extractor, a compressor. Now I have 2 of each. Okay, so the item, let's say we want it to macerate, it's white, that means it goes into the white pipe and goes, oh pardon me, into the macerator. As you can see, we have some transformer upgrades, I'll talk about those later. What happens when the macerator starts macerating? It of course charges some electricity, some EU, from this MFE in here, as you can see. When that happens, the current, okay, goes through this cable and goes to the macerator. This is very important to have an EU detector in here. Why is that? Because this EU detector activates this little contraction over here, which is nothing more than a NOT gate and a timer set on a 1 second delay. Okay, so the EU detector detects that something is consuming energy, it powers, which unpowers this NOT gate. Okay, and also allows this timer to go on. Okay, and this timer does nothing more than to activate the filters behind the machines. Okay, so we macerate some iron ore, it detects that it's consuming energy, it allows the timer to go on, and the timer each second it's active, sends a pulse and activates these filters. So they drag everything out of the machines and put them into this pipe over here, which this pipe goes into an overflow chest. Why do I call this an overflow chest? Not only does this chest allow us to get all the quick processing items, but it is also connected to the entire system, and it allows us to detect which items we have not yet learned in the system. For example, I have here some bog earth because I didn't teach it. Okay, so I went behind the system and to the sorting machines and taught them about bog earth, and while I was doing that, another 3 pieces of bog earth got in here. Okay, so that is the overflow chest. If you're paying very careful attention, you saw that, okay, so I have 16 colors in here and 16 chests, spaces for 16 chests. I have again 16 colors in here and spaces for 16 chests, but in here, okay, I have what, 19 chests. Okay, so I don't have enough color for those. What did I do? The thing is, some of these chests have items in them that I don't want sorted. For example, the ones that I took out of the system are these two, because I'm never gonna sort RedPower blocks and items and micro blocks. Okay, that would be very stupid of me to start sorting them. I could do the same with like industrial craft blocks and items and the other stuff. So basically the lower row is entirely useless from a sorting point of view. Okay, except these two chests, of course, the rubber and the sticky resin. Okay, and the ingots chest. Those two are very important to sort. Okay, so that's basically what I did. I took out the colors behind these two chests, and that allowed me to have colors in the other chests. What's with the center chest? The center chest is not connected to anything. The center chest is the tools chest. In here we have everything that represents a tool, okay, that doesn't go anywhere else. Armor, even a chest from iron chests, the diamond draw plate, anything you can imagine as that can be used as a tool or armor or whatever. Even buckets, as you can see in here, even buckets. Okay. Good. That being said, this is the main sorting chest. Okay, so let's say I go in the wild, I kill some zombies, some whatever, maybe I go mining a little bit, I get in this chest, I put everything in there, and I push this button over here. What happens then? I repeat the system that I did on the quick processing line, and I have a filter that is activated once by the button. Then I have an item detector, again set on this one to only detect stacks, and I have this jacketed wire that goes back to the filter. That's all it is. Okay, I'm going to explain this really fast, and then I'm going to close this video because I'm thinking it's getting pretty long. So what happens when the items go into the system? As you can see, they go into this pipe and into this intersection. The pipe is not connected to anything, none of these machines, it's only connected to that intersection over there. Okay, let's watch from this point of view. That intersection over there is basically the crossroad for every single pipe in the system. Okay, on the left side I have my macerators, 3 macerators. On the right side I have my furnaces. Okay, so the item gets in that intersection and it searches the system. If there are ores getting into the system, I have this filter over here that only allows in the ores that can be processed. Okay, so the ores get into the filter, which puts them into a relay. This relay is very, very important. Why is that? Because there were moments in which I had more than 3 stacks of ores on me. Okay, and without that relay over there, basically the filter jams and doesn't allow any more ores to get to the macerators. So that relay is basically a buffer for the macerators. The same identical system in here, we have a filter that only allows dust. This dust is provided by this lane over here, so it goes up through there and to the filter and is smelted on these furnaces. Again, to activate the filters, the same system with a EU detector, a NOT gate, a timer set on 1 second, and a line to activate the filters. Very, very simple, very, very let's say practical to build. Why have I used filters and why haven't I used retrievers? First of all, the materials. It's very hard to get ender pearls. Okay, and second of all, I have read some forum posts, and apparently the retriever induces quite a lot of lag, while the filters not so much. Okay, so I prefer using a little bit more gold to make some filters. Okay, instead of getting so much lag from a retriever. That, and of course the retriever only pulls out of one inventory at a time. Okay, so let's say here to the macerators. Okay, I have macerated some iron, there's some copper. Okay, the retriever will pull out the closest from the closest inventory, so that means the copper, the iron, sorry, and that means even if I have in here a full stack of copper dust waiting for me, that won't get pulled out until all the iron in the first macerator pulls out. So again, speed, efficiency, whatever you want to call it, it's better with filters. And of course it doesn't use bluetricity, so yay. um, okay, this is about it for this episode, because I don't want it to get incredibly long. In the next episode I will show you what's with this filter over here. Okay, why are all the materials coming from there, and I am also going to show you an overflow, that overflow system over there for especially for cobble, because we get a lot of cobble from the quarries. And how do we get electricity without using solar power or wind power or whatever, or even water power. Okay, how do we get energy in this MFE? So that being said, please rate, comment and subscribe, and as always guys, don't forget to be awesome. Ciao.